What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Best Bet show. I'm your host, MattyChucks, here with my co-host, AustinsProps. He's still getting that PC set up and figuring some things out, so we got to wait a little bit on that new and improved setup. But maybe for baseball season in the mix, maybe in a week or two, we'll have the full thing set up. But Austin, how you doing today? Baseball around the corner. Can't be more excited.
Yeah, super excited. The PC is coming along well. We got it finally set up. I got to fix some lighting issues on there, but once we get that going on, quality will look great. So I'm excited for that. Baseball's here, opening days tomorrow. So excited to get in on our futures predictions. And yeah, man, I'm really excited for the season.
Yeah, I think NBA and NHL are in that wonky month before playoffs or weeks before playoffs. So we're gonna. I'm trying to be a little more cautious with what I do there, and just gonna focus on the beginning of baseball season. We now have stuff to bet on throughout the day, as always on every single day. Day games are probably going to be going on most of the weekdays and most of the days in general. So that's always a plus. This episode is going to be I'll say a best bet guide for our player awards. We have NL MVP, AL MVP, NL Cy Young, and AL Cy Young. And we're going to talk through who the obvious heavy favorites are and who we like if we were going to make a bet and who are the dark horse guys that can kind of make a jump. And that's going to be the episode. We are recording Wednesday. This is going to premiere on Thursday opening day. So hopefully you're watching baseball, can kind of watch this and play some of those futures in the last second. Without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start out with our NL MVP. This is a pretty big bet. You got some big dogs over in the NL. I'm going to go with my guy who I'm probably going to bet him in general. It's going to be Trey Turner plus 1,100. I personally, to me, he's the best player in baseball, not named Shohei Ohtani. He just can hit for power, has speed, plays defense, can prove that he's a winner, plays in the playoffs. Like this guy just total package at 11-1, new team that's dealing with some injuries in the beginning. So if they want to, compete, he's really got to get off to a hot start and, stay healthy, which he's done basically every year anyway. So no real injury concerns for Trey. And just an overall beast. He probably is going to benefit a lot from the shift as well. He can just put the ball pretty much anywhere he wants. What are your thoughts on this, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Trey, especially with a bunch of injuries to the squad early, he's going to have to start really hot. But I think there's also upside when Harper comes back. Once they get their guys kind of back, like he could have a huge second half of the year. So, I mean, if he starts hot, he definitely could put himself in a really good position because, I mean, you got to do it for the whole season to win this award.
That's the hardest part. I feel like baseball just is so long. Like
you got to do it the whole
play
year,
150
man.
games. Like
you literally do. You can't have those slumps for a long period of time, or you just fall out of the race.
Or if you get hurt for like 2 months, like you're done.
Exactly. Even a month, it kind of puts you like out. So, no, I definitely like Trey Turner as a option there.
Who's your guy? If you were to pick an NL MVP, who's your guy?
My dark horse NL MVP. There's obviously the obvious choices, you know what I mean? But my dark horse, I would say Francisco Lindor. I just have a feel with 25-1. You're obviously doing a dreamer, but dude's done it before. He's comfortable with the Mets. He had a great year, finishing 9th last season. The lineup's always got guys on base, like ton of upside. I think he's probably going to hit third. They likely bring Nimmo 1, McNeil or Marte 2, and Lindor should be in that 3 spot. So if he stays healthy, he's a 5-tool player, and I think his stolen bases could go up as well. So I agree. There's upside for that.
I think stolen base. I think this year with the rules, I forget the number, but I don't know if it was 10% or 20% that they saw in the minors that the with the pitch clock and everything that's how much stolen bases improved. It's going to be hard to deny like a guy who doesn't steal bases to win MVP if you see a guy with like 40 stolen bases.
100%. 100%.
So it's going to be one of those guys like Acuna, Lindor, the guys who can really, Trey Turner, like I said earlier. But it's going to be those guys that steal bases and can hit for power. Lindor can hit for some pop, plays well. If the Mets are in first place in the division too, I think that gives him a little boost because he's definitely the leader. And I think that 25-1, that's a pretty solid bet.
Yeah, and you're just sprinkling something on it, you know what I mean? And I think the protection with Pete Alonso behind him, like, just helps as well, and, like, he played almost every game last year. Like, Buck Showalter wants him to be out there. They might have him DH a few games just to give him some rest from shortstop, but he's gonna be there, and if he stays healthy, I think he definitely puts himself in the race like he did last year.
I agree. I'm expecting a bounce back year as well, more comfortable. The team is basically right there. I'm all in on it. Those are our two NL MVP guys that we like. Going on to the NL Cy Young. This one I really don't understand. This guy finished, I believe, third last year in the Cy Young voting. Julio Urias. I really don't know how you probably pronounce his name. I think I switch up halfway through the year anyway, and I kind of just go with however I'm feeling. But he's had like a sub 3 ERA. I think was second in the league in ERA last year at like a 2. Plays for the Dodgers, a good team. He's going to get the wins. The Dodgers aren't really going to be as dominant this year as years past, but they're still going to be a good team, favorite to win their division. Like I think he's going to get the wins. He's going to get the numbers. It's just a matter of does he get the strikeouts and does he, play through and play as much games as he should. But 20-1 on a guy who finished third last year in voting, um, and was top 5 ERA guy, top 5, like, almost like across the board in stats. Like to me, it's just too much value to pass up. So I'm going to bet our man Julio plus 2,000.
Yeah, he's a monster, and I think, honestly, it would help his numbers too a little bit too if Dave Roberts would let him stretch out a little longer. He sometimes
Yeah,
pulls him, like, after 5 in a third, and it's like, he definitely coulda got you 6th, and I get it from a baseball standpoint, you're winning games, but for the MVP race, those extra innings add up, you know what I mean? So, he had a lot of, like, barely hitting 6 innings starts, but dude's a monster, and so if we could see him get into the 7th inning multiple times, like, definitely could put himself there.
I agree. And the NL, DeGrom left, but still pretty nice size of Cy Young pitchers in the NL. Who's your guy if you were to sprinkle in the NL Cy Young?
I think the front runner is Sandy. I think, like, you just have to. The dude's a workhorse. Like, he's gonna pitch so many damn innings every game. But
Yeah,
for me, if I'm sprinkling, I'm going Zach Gallen. I think the dude's just a stud. You know what I mean? He's the ace for the Diamondbacks. They're showing some upside. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. They won 74 games last year. I wouldn't surprised if they got even like to the 80 to 85 range this year. Like, I don't think they're gonna make any noise in the playoffs yet, but I think they're making some good movements. And yeah, I mean, I just like Zach Gallen. They've shown they're gonna let him throw. They're gonna give him 7 innings. They're gonna, you know what I mean? Like he's thrown 110
100%.
pitches a lot of games, so he'll be out there. So I like the upside 11-1.
I agree. He actually finished fifth last year in voting as well. He actually had the best whip among the candidates. I think he led the league. And yeah, if he gets more wins under his belt, can maybe get some more run support. Guys like Christian Walker on Diamondbacks. These guys, they have some talent this year. They're a sneaky sleeper for most of these sharp guys who do a lot of futures bets. I like Zach Gallen. I think he's an absolute dog. And again, finished fifth last year. And I think he takes a bump up. Younger guy can really, get into himself and, make some more adjustments to get him over that hump. So I like Zach Allen. I agree. That's it for our NL awards. We're going to move on to our AL awards and go to the AL MVP. We both kind of agreed on the same guy. I already made a video about it, but it is going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think he's plus 1,500 on some other books. We're using FanDuel's odds for these just because it was easier, but definitely find the best value and the best spot for these. You could talk about Vlad. I think he's a power hitter, hits for contact as well, and just an overall stud, and he's going to bounce back. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Vlad, I think is gonna be like the front runner. Honestly, halfway through the year, I love what they got going over there. The dude's gonna hit 30 plus homers, 100 plus RBIs. Like he's probably gonna crush those numbers. Like that's, I would say, a low spot for him
Yeah,
to hit. You know what I mean? And so he hasn't won one yet, right? He didn't
yeah,
win it.
no.
No, hasn't won one yet. So I think it's his year. Like it's a gut feel, but 13-1 just seems like great value for Vlad.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot. He's gonna get a lot of at bats. The Blue Jays team gets tons of at bats because they just score a ton of runs. And he's gonna have to really lead this team. Had 175 hits last year, 32 home runs, 97 RBIs, and that was what some people considered almost a down year for him. So if he can get 35 and like 105, 110, I think it's gonna be hard to deny. Obviously, the Shohei Ohtani's Aaron Judge are going to be up there. Aaron Judge just got paid though, so you never know what happens after you get paid. That was a contract year last year. And Shohei, if he plays the full season to his best of his ability, he probably gets it, but you can't bet him
Right.
at that value. So we're gonna bet Vlad Jr. You
Yeah,
never know. Injuries are a thing too. Shohei could get hurt. You never know.
2 to 1 for Shohei, like, just isn't worth it. You might as well not place the bet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
for 2 to 1 at that rate, because like one injury and he doesn't win it. So
exactly.
I,
I
I think
100%
throwing a
agree.
dart, like I would love throwing a dart at Vlad at plus 1300 over Shohei at plus 200. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. I do like Joey Gallo. I'm just kidding. I was gonna say Joey Gallo. Not betting him. That's it for our MVP. And last but not least, our AL Cy Young. Don't you dare put DeGrom on this list. We're not going to talk about him, but you can talk about AL Cy Young. One of the filthiest guys in the league, I'd say. But Mr. Dylan Cease is your man at plus 900. Why do you like Dylan Cease?
I absolutely love Cease. The dude was a monster. He almost won it last season. Didn't even make the All-Star game. Like,
Yeah,
had like a 2.2 ERA and doesn't make the All-Star game. Like, come on. The dude was a monster. I think he definitely is a guy that remembers that as well. Like, he was vocal that he did not appreciate not being there, which obviously the All-Star game's not everything, but it is something like at the end of the day you'd like to have on your resume, like it's validation from your peers. So I think he comes out with fire this year, and I really like Dylan Cease. Like 9 to 1 odds. I love it.
I agree. He came in second last year. Um, He actually led the league in pitchers for wins above replacement, but he's only 14-8. He's gonna need to get some more wins. And his big
Definitely.
issues is those walks. He had 78 walks last year, which led the league, and almost by a long shot. So if he limits those walks, again, that's less wear and tear on your arm as well, less batters, more strikeouts. ERA is there. If he can kind of just fine tune that, I think it's almost his award to lose. He's got some filthy stuff, man.
He's
Like,
disgusting. Yeah, he is absolutely disgusting.
filthy stuff. And our last one, Justin Bieber's brother Shane, absolute monster. Plays for a good team this year. Talk to us why you like Shane Bieber.
Plays for a great team. Is going to get a lot of wins. He's just been a dog for the Guardians for the last few years, and you know what I mean. He's like consistently good,
Yeah.
and I think it's just at plus 1600 to take a shot at someone that is going to put their name in the race. Like you kind of just have to, you know what I mean? Like he's going to finish in those top 5 to 7 range and give you a chance if he plays the whole year. He's got the stuff. He's got the durability. He will go 7 or 8 innings, multiple occasions. Like just a great spot at plus 1600.
Yeah, he actually pitched the second most innings, or actually third, point 0.2 behind Garrett Cole. Second most innings of those AL Cy Young voters last year. So he's going to pitch you 200 innings. If he can get, I think, a little more strikeouts, that's kind of where he needs to kind of make that jump and just a little more wins. Again, he was only 13-8 last year. So if he can kind of make that gap a little bigger, maybe like a 15-5, 16-5 type of deal, he's definitely in the running. So I agree with that as well. Those are our awards. Give us some love in the comments or hate in the comments. Let me know if you're betting Shohei Ohtani and all the favorites. Would love to know that as well. But these are our fun plays and our guides. Hopefully, it helps you in any sort of way. Um, Baseball is back. We're gonna have more collab plays. A lot of baseball content coming out on the show. So stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, best of luck on your bets today and for the rest of the MLB season. I'm your host, MattyChucks. There's Austin's Props, the co host, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.